Did you know that inheriting a fortune can tear families apart faster than it brings them together? 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation. Not because of bad investments, but because of what the money does to the people left behind. I know this because I lived it. $300 million. And I watched my entire family implode. My name is Elena. I'm 32 years old. And 4 years ago, I inherited more money than most people see in 10 lifetimes. I didn't ask for it, didn't expect it, but when my grandmother left me her entire estate, $300 million, everything changed. Not the money itself, but what it revealed about the people I loved most. Here's what no one tells you about sudden wealth. It doesn't just change your bank account. It changes how every single person in your life sees you. Jealousy becomes the default emotion, even from people who claim to love you unconditionally. Entitlement rises to the surface. People who never asked for help suddenly need thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Values that were hidden get exposed. You learn who saw you as family, and who saw you as a resource. The psychology is brutal. When someone close to you suddenly has wealth, it triggers something primal. Why them and not me? What do they do to deserve it? Don't I deserve it just as much? And when the answer is no, when you're not included in the windfall, resentment festers. Turns into anger, into accusations, into lawsuits. Families split along fault lines that were always there. But money makes them impossible to ignore. Let me tell you what happened to the Johnsons. A real family from Connecticut. Their father built a tech company in the 90s. Sold it for $400 million in 2015. He had 3 kids. Gave $100 million to each. Equal splits. Thought that would keep the peace. Within 2 years, none of them were speaking. One invested wisely, tripled her share. One lost half in a bad business venture. One spent it on houses and cars and lifestyle. The successful one was resented. The failed one was pitted and mocked. The spender was judged. Equal inheritance. 3 destroyed relationships. Or take the Martinez family in Texas. Grandfather left everything to his oldest grandson. $5 million. Bypassed his own children entirely. His reasoning: my children had their chance. This is for the next generation. The grandson was sued by 4 aunts and uncles. The case lasted 3 years. Cost $500,000 in legal fees. He won. But he lost every family relationship he had. Hasn't spoken to any of them in 6 years. These aren't rare stories. They're the norm. Wealth reveals character. And sometimes what it reveals is ugly. Now let me tell you my story. The moment everything broke. My grandmother's will reading was on a Thursday. The whole family gathered. My parents. My 2 brothers. My aunt and uncle. 4 cousins. The lawyer read through smaller bequests. 10,000 here. 20,000 there. Then he got to the main estate. The remainder of my assets, totaling approximately $300 million, I leave entirely to my granddaughter, Elena Marie Castellano. The room went silent. Then my uncle stood up. That's impossible. I assure you. She manipulated her. Excuse me. My mother had dementia. She didn't. This will is invalid. My aunt started crying. How could you do this to us? I didn't do anything. You poisoned her against us. That's not true. My mother, my own mother, looked at me. Did you know about this? No. Liar. My oldest brother laughed. Actually laughed. This is insane. You're going to split it, right? This is my inheritance. From our grandmother. She left it to me. So you're keeping it all? I didn't answer. Because I didn't know yet. I was still processing. My younger brother was the only one who didn't speak. Just stared at me. Like I was a stranger. The lawyer tried to restore order. There's a letter. From Mrs. Castellano. Explaining her decision. He read it aloud. To my family. I know this will be difficult. But I made this choice with full clarity and intention. Elena is the only one who visited me regularly. Who called just to talk. Who remembered my birthday without being reminded. The rest of you came when you needed something. Or when it was convenient. Or when you felt obligated. Elena came because she cared. I'm leaving her everything, because she's the only one I trust to handle it with wisdom and integrity. This is not a punishment. It's a reflection of reality. With love. Nah. My uncle threw a folder across the table. Papers scattered everywhere. This is bullshit. My aunt stood. We'll contest this. You can try, the lawyer said calmly. But the will is airtight. They left. All of them. Walked out without another word. I sat there alone, in a room full of empty chairs, holding a letter from a dead woman. And 300 million reasons why my family would never forgive me. Have you ever had everything and nothing at the same time? That's what inheritance felt like. The lawsuit started within a month. My uncle claimed undue influence. My aunt claimed Nana had dementia. My cousins joined in. Class action. Defrauded heirs. My brothers didn't sue. But they didn't defend me either. Just disappeared. Stopped answering calls. Blocked me on social media. My mother called once. You need to share this. It's not right. Nana left it to me. She was manipulated. She wasn't. Then you manipulated her. I hung up. She didn't call again. The media got involved. Local news first. Granddaughter inherits fortune while family gets nothing. Then bigger outlets. Family feud over $300 million estate. I became a villain. In articles I never consented to. In comment sections I never read. Friends started treating me differently. Some asked for loans. Just $50,000. You won't even miss it. Others got distant. Uncomfortable. Like my money was contagious. I hired security. Because people knew where I lived. Sent letters. Showed up at my door. I moved. Changed my number. Hired lawyers, accountants, advisors. Built walls between me and everyone. Not because I wanted to. Because I had to. The legal battle took 18 months. Discovery was brutal. They subpoenaed everything. My emails with Nana. Text messages. Photos. Medical records. Looking for proof I'd manipulated her. They found nothing. Because there was nothing. The evidence showed what really happened. I visited her twice a week for 8 years. Brought groceries. Cooked dinner. Watched old movies together. My brothers visited maybe once a month. My parents every few months. My aunt and uncle twice a year. My cousins almost never. Nana had kept a journal. The lawyer presented it as evidence. Entries like, Elena came today. We made pasta. She's the only one who asks about my life. Called Richard. He didn't answer. Too busy as always. Margaret visited. Asked for money. Again. Page after page. Year after year. Documented neglect. Documented exploitation. Documented love. The judge dismissed all claims. Ordered my uncle and aunt to pay legal fees. $200,000 each. They blame me for that too. It's been 4 years now. I still don't talk to most of my family. My younger brother reached out last year. I'm sorry, he said, for disappearing. I was overwhelmed. Didn't know how to handle it. We have coffee sometimes. We're rebuilding. Slowly. Carefully. But my older brother? My parents? My extended family? Gone. I've built a new life. Away from them. Away from the drama. I run a foundation now. Focused on elder care. Supporting seniors who've been abandoned by family. Because I know what that looks like. I saw it in Nana's journals. I've donated millions. Quietly. Anonymously when possible. Not for recognition. But because it's what she would have wanted. I've also learned to live with loneliness. The kind that comes from having everything materially. And losing everything emotionally. People think money solves problems. It doesn't. It just reveals them. And sometimes what it reveals is devastating. Here's what I've learned about inheritance and family. Money doesn't create conflict. It exposes it. If your family only valued you for what they could get from you, that was always true. The inheritance just made it visible. Real love survives wealth. Real relationships don't crumble when one person succeeds. They celebrate. They support. They remain. But transactional relationships, those based on proximity, obligation, or expectation, they shatter the moment the transaction changes. My family didn't fall apart because I inherited money. They fell apart because their love was conditional. And the condition was access. To Nana. To her resources. To her wealth. When she chose me, she removed their access. And they couldn't forgive that. I've also learned that guilt is a weapon. They wielded it constantly. How can you keep it all? Family shares. You're being selfish. But sharing wealth I didn't earn with people who resent me wouldn't create family. It would create dependence. And resentment would remain. Just dressed up as gratitude. If you've ever been resented for something you didn't ask for, type scene in the comments. You're not alone in this. I think about Nana every day. About why she made this choice. She knew what would happen. Knew they'd turn on me. Knew it would be hard. But she also knew something else. That I was the only one who loved her. Not her money. Not her status. Her. And she wanted to reward that. Protect me. Give me resources to build a life. She also wanted to teach them a lesson. That love isn't transactional. That presence matters. That you can't wait until someone's dead to suddenly care. I don't think they learned it. I think they just got angrier. But that's not my responsibility. I honored her wishes. Managed the wealth carefully. Used it to help others. Lived modestly despite having millions. Because she trusted me. And I won't betray that trust. Even if it costs me my family. $300 million sits in accounts and investments. Doing good work. Funding programs. Supporting people. But it doesn't keep me warm at night. Doesn't call on my birthday. Doesn't show up when I'm sad. Money is just money. A tool. A resource. Not a replacement for connection. I have everything I could ever need financially. And nothing I truly want emotionally. That's the cost of inheritance. That's the price of being chosen. And I've made peace with it. Most days. So here's the summary. Wealth complicates family dynamics in ways you can't predict. Jealousy, entitlement, and resentment rise to the surface. Communication breaks down. Relationships fracture. And the person left holding the money often ends up holding it alone. If you've experienced family conflict over inheritance, I want to hear from you. Share your story in the comments. Let's talk about the real cost of sudden wealth. And if this resonated with you, check out my other video about setting boundaries with family. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. Thank you for listening. And remember, money reveals character. Make sure yours is worth revealing.